start streaming. Where are we going? Where are we going? Stream. Oh, the video's up. Hey, everybody. There's some serious lag going on, so I'm really sorry if, like, I suddenly jump to a question that's, like, way back. I'm just gonna hope this goes okay. Yeah. Hopefully the lag won't be, like, too ridiculous. So yeah, for those who don't know, it's Jake out at the moment. I like to do the YouTube stuff. Oh wait, hang on. Let me turn the special light on. Hey, that's better. Yeah, so for those who don't know, like, I do the YouTube videos myself. It tends to be me. I do, like, a little bit of the spotlight, I guess, and I like talking to people and just being really out there. So I really convinced everybody that we should do this live stream because one of the Q&A questions that the Q&A blog that I made, we had such a huge response that I was like, how are we ever going to get through all of those questions? So I thought, actually, it's better to do something interactive and talk to you guys and, yeah, see what's said. Oh, I spot Joe in the comments. Joanna Jervis. She is one of our oldest friends, and yeah, we love her to pieces. We lived with her for like 4 years in university, so yeah. Thanks, Joe. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And big hey to everybody else too. Like, I really appreciate your time and coming to see us today. Like, wow. I can't believe it. Like, I can't get over like the amount of comments and the amount of interest. So yeah. So, yeah, I guess this whole live stream is for you guys, and it's for your questions and anything you would like me to ask or answer, or anything you want to know about us, about me, whatever you want. Feel free to just ask something, and I'll see if I can get through as many things as I possibly can. So, Geek Panties. I'm glad we helped you. I'm so pleased. So pleased. I remember when we first started, like, Jess was getting to grips with this disorder that she could potentially have, and she looked like everywhere for any bit of normality out there, and there was just like nothing. There was like the videos of people getting locked up and not having normal lives, and she was like, oh my gosh, is this my fate? Is this what I'm gonna end up doing? But actually then she found this YouTuber, I hope she won't mind me shouting her out, in their system, called City in 3, and they actually gave her like that inspiration to be like, oh, do you know what? I can live and I can have a normal life and I don't have to be so scared. So thanks to them and their system, that's why we're doing the videos now, because we wanted to do the same thing. So yeah. Oh gosh, there's like so many questions already. Is a physical, but he's very verbal. Okay, Hope Ridley, I'm just looking at your question now. So you have a bit of a serious question. You have an alter that's actually in charge of anger-based stress. Any tips to calm him down? I guess something that Jess always tries with Ed, because he like years ago went through all those stages of being like, rawr, was actually just talking to him. If you have that connection, or if somebody in your system is able to talk to him, like find out what exactly is wrong. Like, why is he upset? What's making him angry? What's making him do this? And is there something else that he'd enjoy? Like maybe a little art, a little cooking, I'm just naming some stuff that we've given to Ed. But yeah, I guess it's about that communication. That's kind of my best advice. I'm probably not the best like DID knower of what to do with alters, but yeah, that's I guess that's my best guess. Hey to Sarah, greetings from America. Hi. I caught that one. Do we go to therapy, and for how long from Fran Army? Yeah, we've been in and out of therapy for years and years and years and years. We started probably when we were about 14, 15, because stuff wasn't right with Jess. But we never really made it far. Like, we saw somebody for like a year, and when Jess started disclosing, like, actually, do you know what? I have these people that come forward and take control of my body and do stuff. She was kind of like, well, everybody has parts. Everybody has a dimension to themselves. Sometimes we have our happy self. And Jess was like, no, do you know what? That's not what this is. It's nothing about, like, aspects of personality. This is literal people taking over my life. What do I do about it? And that's the doorstop we found every single step since. Like, even the closest mental health unit here, we were on a waiting list for 2 years to see somebody, saw somebody who said, yeah, we have a dissociative disorders unit, but we don't believe in DID. So it was just like, what? And then they were like, oh, but we'll put you on the waiting list to be seen by this dissociative clinic. And we've been waiting nearly another 2 years. So, but I don't know what good it's going to do, really. I mean, we're hopeful because we're kind of, like, desperate for any kind of help. But, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry if I talk too much, too. I'm just, like, super excited to have you guys, so thank you. Okay. Blah, blah. Who didn't get along at first, and how was you able to find a solution? From Jackie Fulp. That would be Ed, definitely. Kind of like a trigger warning, like I can't, I've got to be careful like how much detail I get into. But Jess, when she was about 13ish, she started getting notes in her like textbooks from school, and it was like, I hate you and die and rawr and like really nasty stuff. And she was being bullied at the time, so she kind of figured that one of the bullies was picking up her notebook and writing mean stuff in it, and that was it. Basically, she came back having found that she had harmed herself somehow, and with this notebook out saying, like, I can't remember what it said, actually. I'd be lying if I said something, but it was like another scary message in the notebook. And Jess realized at that point that it was one of me, because she only knew me, really. It was one of me, like, sort of coming out and doing this to her, and it really frightened her. So, yeah, that was our first encounter, I guess, or Jess's first encounter with a difficult alter that she didn't really know what to do about. So, okay, when do I switch? When do we switch for May Up Forever? Anytime, really. Like, how long's a piece of string? It could be, gosh, it can be through an actual trigger, it can be through something like crazy, it can be through nothing at all. It could even be like a positive trigger. Like, if you get somebody's favorite, I don't know, TV show on and you put it on, the likelihood is they're gonna be drawn out to watch it. So that's kind of a positive trigger, like we call them. We don't really know what else to call them, so that's what we call them. So yeah, and I guess our switching is likely to happen when we're doing nothing. I guess is probably the most common, and that's when, I guess, when the brain has time to wander and it doesn't concentrate, which is why Jess finds that she can work, like, and be in work, like 9 to 5. We literally just come home from a late shift, so, yeah, I actually booked in the time, like, super close to the line, so it was my fault, because I forgot we were on the late shift. But yeah, because Jess has kind of trained herself to, like, no, I've got to concentrate, and you know, she's constantly thinking at work, and she needs a busy job. That's something else. So when we were working as receptionists, we all had to go. It was like, oh, well, you know, let's answer the phone, let's write some stuff down, because I guess it didn't, like, keep us thinking as much. But this job is, like, blah all the time for Jess. So yeah, she's constantly on the ball. Okay, are you able to control who comes out? Does Jess ever call certain alters who would do better tasks? From S2OV2. Yeah, I guess. Although it's kind of automatic, like those positive triggers that I talked about, it's a little bit like that. So somebody will say, like, oh yeah, okay, we need to do our essay now, like right now. And Jamie is much more likely to come forward for that because he enjoys learning and he loves reading up on stuff and researching. So that's kind of, I guess, where our task would come in useful. And likewise, if we're totally overwhelmed in the kitchen, like, what can we make? What can we do? What can we eat? Ed is likely to come forward because he really enjoys cooking. So he'll pick something up and be like, yeah, that's let's work with that. So, yeah. Okay. Hey Lynn, love you too. Okay. When did you and Jess switch today? As soon as I got in the car. Actually, kind of on the way out of work. I was like tiptoeing out, like, need to get home, need to do stuff, need to make sure this software is working. So yeah, it was kind of on the way out, and then we were kind of blurry for a little bit until we got running through the door, and then I was like, boom! I need to get stuff going. So, yeah. Does DID affect your driving at all? From Chloe C. Yeah, kind of. Like, it took 2 years for us of weekly lessons to be able to pass, to stop this dissociation on the road. And also, I think Jess was just more like panic, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna run over somebody, and it was like that. But really, she did it really safely. She practiced, obviously, with a really experienced driving instructor, so it was no problem. And we've been approved, like, by the DVLA, and we went through all of that, too. Like, hey, you know what, this is our situation, and this is what happens, but, you know, this is all our proof that we can drive safely, rah, rah, rah. So, and they approved it, so that's always good. Is it like sleeping when you switch from Alexandra Diaz? Yeah, kinda. I guess it's kind of like that bit where you're just about to fall asleep, but you don't want to go to sleep. I don't know if you guys ever had. I guess it's more like you're just nodding off, and you're like fighting the tired. I guess that's how I kind of describe it. I'm not sure if anybody else like with the ID would describe it differently, but I think that's the way I definitely talk about it. No, Ollie from Red Rover, no, Ollie does not drive. He is not driven yet. And there's been, I think, 2 occasions where we've had to pull over. Because obviously you can sense a switch coming. So we were pulling over and like, okay, Ollie's around, too close, have to wait till he goes. And then we can carry on, you know. Like you kind of do if you got something in your eye or you had a migraine. It's just one of those. You pull over safely and go from there. So... Matilda, I'm glad you love my hair. I prefer having it up and out of my face rather than the Jess's long locks around me. And it's really hot, and I'm wearing this to kind of characterize me a little more because it's like my favorite kind of shirt and my favorite color. But yeah, yeah, glad you like the hair. From Meow Mew Meow, can I talk a little bit about my relationship with Jamie? Yeah, Jamie's my brother, so in the system. I guess we all kind of have different relationships. So, yeah, Jamie's my older brother on the inner world that we talk about. Like, we moved between the UK and LA for like several years, and I picked up the LA accent, and Jamie didn't. He stuck with his British. But Jess believes, which we'll probably go into in huge detail in another video, Jess believes that inner worlds really tell a story. Like, they kind of tell like a dream does. You know, when it has like deeper meanings than the surface. So we think that the inner world makes this story. It's not like a conscious effort. It just kind of goes. And then there's like a deeper meaning behind it. So it's like interpreting dreams. So I think in our case, even just with the accents, like, again, I can't disclose too much because I know Jess doesn't really want to talk about personal life or family. But there was an expectation growing up, from some of her life that she should be a certain way and she should be well raised and she should be excellent with her table manners and she had to do this and had to do that. And I think Jamie just formed from that. Like, she had to be well spoken, and also she had a lot of English family because I guess Jess is Welsh. So I guess Jamie came from that. And I think because I was technically made before, there was a lot of self-soothing growing up watching like Disney films, and that's where we don't know, but that's where we think that I decided to get my accent from. It wasn't a conscious effort. It was just like, oh hey, like, I don't know. Like, because I was mute as well. Like, Jess always talks about the fact that I was mute until I was like a certain age, because I've grown up alongside her. And then suddenly I got this voice, and that's what my voice was. So the story behind that in the inner world is that we were brothers and moved between places, and then Jamie picked up the British and I picked up the American. So, yeah. How do we tell family? How do they react? Again, I can't really go into too much detail on family, unfortunately. It's just one of the T's and C's of what Jess wants for this channel. But Yeah, I don't think I can say it like yeah, I mean, like, the family know, um, but we're always Jess around the family as we would be with strangers. Like, we don't go out, I don't suddenly go out into the street and be like, hey, I'm gonna talk like me. My name is Jake. I look like this. I don't do that. So I'll talk like Jess, act like Jess, and just roll with it. And that's part of what we do. So we're a total defense mechanism. Um, and unless we feel comfortable, we don't allow this side of ourselves to be seen, which is exactly why it's comfortable to do it to like a camera, to do it to close friends, because yeah, it feels like there's no judgment. Which is why I've got to kind of be careful, I guess, with comments on YouTube, because Jess gets really like, oh my gosh. So I tend to kind of screen as much as I can and approve comments, even though it's a bit sucky. Get that. It's just important because there are some comments that, will really upset her. So yeah, like I said, there's like this defense mechanism, and as part of that, we act like Jess and try and do as much of her life as possible. So yeah. SVOV2 again. Do you have your own friends who just know as you as Jake? They don't just know me as Jake, like they know that I'm part of Jess. But do I have my own friends? Yeah, like I have, much more. I used to have much more at uni when we were at uni and we could like form cliques and go out with the guys and do whatever. I had more then, but you kind of grow apart once you leave uni and move away again. So, but yeah, like Vicky is my best friend now. Yeah, and she knows me for me, and she buys me birthday presents, and yeah, we have much more of that relationship. So yeah, like I have friends, and Ed has certain friends, and so so is it common to be misdiagnosed by Courtney? Yeah, it is. Extremely common from, like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the fact expert in our system, but yeah, apparently, as far as I remember, it is extremely common to be misdiagnosed, and people are even reluctant to diagnose because they don't believe in the condition. So, yeah, that can be really difficult, I guess, because you're telling people, like, this is a disorder I have, or this is what I'm experiencing, and no matter what you say, they will just shut you down. And we were diagnosed with, like one of the psychiatrists, I don't even know if he diagnosed us. He didn't do any paperwork. It was more like, it sounds like you have a personality disorder, a mood disorder, an anxiety disorder, like basically every kind of disorder in the DSM, like every branch of it, but anything but DID. Like he was like, I'm not going to diagnose you with this one thing that would count for all of these things. So, but it is just people being stubborn and ill-informed, and Jess is hoping, like, with a new generation of psychiatrists and psychologists that, we can get a little bit more acceptance. Okay. Kefka, would you eventually prefer to be integrated back into Jess's system and live in the inner world? No, I don't think. We kind of, not a deal as such, but I guess I'm second in line, so if Jess one day disappeared and decided she wasn't coming back, or just couldn't come back, or something, because that can happen with hosts, then yeah, I would basically take over permanently, and probably go through like hormones and stuff, because I want to be me and I'd want to have as close to my body as possible, because I guess I'm the only one in the system who's particularly dysphoric about the gender I'm in. So I wouldn't go away because I'd almost feel like I'd miss that opportunity. And I guess thinking about it, I don't know, it kind of makes me feel like, I know alters can't technically die, but I kind of worry about not being here anymore. Because that's a scary thought. I'm sure it's a scary thought to anybody. Like, if somebody said, hey, would you, like, just not exist here and exist in an imagination that may disappear one day? Like, you're gonna be like, no. Like, I'm happy here. So yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Keely Ellis, hey Jake, is it possible you could develop more alters in the future? Yeah. Alters come about through stress or trauma. After you're a kid and after you started developing some alters, they can just keep developing like crazy. So you can get like loads suddenly at one point, or you can get like some years down the line, or there could be something else that sets it off. we're generally pretty good, and apparently, but we don't really remember any of it, apparently we had about 20 alters at one point. They no longer exist, so we remember maybe a couple of names, but we don't remember anything about them, nothing about what they did, don't even remember the timeline. Like, the memories for those guys have completely gone, and definitely been naturally integrated, but I don't know how that happened or what point that happened, but yeah, the ID can be very, like, up and down in terms of alters. On some systems, like, we know, like, like, the smallest bit of stress can just create an alter, and for others, I guess more like us, it has to take a lot to chip away at something. It has to do a lot of damage. So, okay. Oh gosh, like, the comments are going so fast. I'm like, I can't read it quick enough. Would anyone else do live streams in the future from Iris? I don't know. Like, I hope so. Ed is really reluctant to do videos full stop. Like, that one video I shot with him, it was after months and months and months and months and months of badgering and being like, please, please do this. And I had to catch him on a really good day, and he'd already had a couple of glasses of wine, so he was kind of in a good mood. So I think your least likely option will be Ed. I'm trying to convince Jess to do one. I think she'll probably be next, if I can tell her, like, how nice you guys have been. Yeah. Magical sofa, what do you mean by naturally integrated? Kind of means we didn't have any intervention with it. We didn't seek therapy. We didn't do anything. It just happened. I don't think you can't really naturally integrate an entire system. It's more like fragments and pieces and little parts that are kind of floating around. As far as I'm aware, like, an alter like myself or Jamie or Ed or Ollie couldn't just naturally integrate because there's, like, too much stuff. But for the lesser parts, for fragments, that can happen, and they can sort of, like, go into another alter or, yeah, just by themselves. It doesn't have to necessarily have a resolution. Or it can be for, like, a temporary thing. Like, if you're going through a really, really, really stressful time where none of the other alters can deal with it, or is another role that needs to be done, then you might develop a fragment to do that until the stress has gone away, and then that alter might not be needed anymore, and because they're not needed, you kind of don't see them again. So, yeah. Sips tea lightly. Crap, you're late. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere too fast. How old are you guys currently? From Delaney. I'm 25, Jess is 25, Jamie's 27, Ed's 29, and Ollie is 14. Oh, look at me knowing stuff. That was impressive. Bella, could I explain more about the inner world? I've kind of talked a little bit about it already, so I don't want to repeat myself too. Gaz has put booze in my drink. Gaz! Yeah. What have you put in my drink? What have you put in my drink? I'm not complaining. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Gaz. Yeah, so I don't want to go too much into the inner world, but, yeah, so inner world is essentially a place where all alters belong. Like, when they're not fronting, that's where they can go, and they can interact and talk to each other and things like that. So yeah, that's essentially the real basic stuff of the inner world. Gosh, Joel Poole, how do you feel about not being a real person? Oh, yeah, that's a hard thing, and sometimes I've gotta say, like, I do have existential crisis sometimes. Like, I'll never have, like, a relationship, I'll never have my own body, I'll never have my own life, and that's really hard, actually. Especially, I guess, because I've been here for so long. I kind of think, when's it gonna be my turn? But I guess I've had to accept that this is the life we have, this is the life we lead, and this is the one we're following. And that's not the same for all the ID systems either. Like, some alters are really like, fuck the system kind of thing, and they will, like, go haywire, which is when you can, obviously, when people start to lose functionality. I guess, yeah. And I've just blipped it then. I've forgotten the question. I'm so sorry. That's part of our thing. really sorry. I was on a roll and I thought of my next point and then it just went boom. So, yeah, sorry. But I hope I answered part of your question, whatever it was.
You're trailing off. Anything unusual there?
I know. Gaz just said I was trailing off. I was like, I don't know. Cherry pie crushing on Jake. Yay. Thank you.
So
No, I was
my Xbox headset.
I was talking about relationships. I remember. So actually, that's a big part of it for me. Like, if people can say, you know what, I see past that.
Sorry.
I see past that, and I see, like, the person you are, and I don't see your host, I don't see the body you're in, that means the most to me. Like, when people say that, I'm like, wow, that's so incredible. And I'll never, ever get over that feeling is when people actually recognize you as a person and a separate part. Like, it's really, really enlightening. So, yeah, thank you very much. Everybody just said, hey, Gaz.
What?
Everybody just said, hey.
Hi.
Don't know if you heard that, but yeah, Gaz in the far background. Opal, if you don't remember your trauma, can you still have DID or OSDD? Yeah, absolutely. We only remember the beginning of our trauma, essentially. Right at the beginning. And then bang. No memories between 6 and 12 years old. At all. Blank. So, yeah. It's a really tough time, but we have a part, like a fragment called Little Jake, who, you know, is essentially a smaller, tiny me, who doesn't age and who holds those memories. But, yeah, he will need somebody super specialist and super amazing to be able to deal and process all that. So, but yeah, absolutely. If you can't remember your trauma, that's totally eligible for the same diagnosis because amnesia is part of the diagnosis. So, yeah. Andrea Pittis, how are Ed and Jamie doing? Yeah, fine as far as I know. We're starting to get Ed back because Ed's been gone for a long time, like or a long time by our standards. But again, time is a vast wasteland with us, so I have no idea exactly how long. It's just been a long time. I think a few months. It's definitely been a while. Yeah, and yeah, I think things are starting to settle out. We're starting to have images of Ed back again. I'm starting to feel him around again. And consequently, that's making Jamie feel more at ease because he knows that Ed's around and he's going to come back. And yeah. So, Zineid, you have no idea how much you mean to me. I love you too. Thank you so much. I'm so pleased we managed to help somehow. How did you feel when Ed and Jamie got together? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, gosh, that was years ago. I think they've been together 12 years, I think. So I was like 12. I was really little. So yeah, it didn't bother me at the time, doesn't bother me now, and they're great together. Yeah. What does the system argue about the most? Probably time spent. Probably who's gonna do what when. Especially because, like, there's, like, I guess, again, because we're such strong people in our own sense, like, Jess will want to, I don't know, like, spend time with the dog, or Ed will want to draw and paint, and then Ollie want to play Xbox games, and yeah, so, and I want to make YouTube videos. So yeah, you know, we do tend to kind of clash on that, but Jamie is very much like, no, we need to do this because of XYZ, but actually something we've noticed, since Ed has been gone, is actually he really does wear the trousers. So you see in the other video where we talked about that kind of stuff, and we've definitely missed the direction from Ed, like the push to do stuff, and that's definitely been lacking. Like, the house isn't as clean and as tidy as it always is. You know, there's no food on the table when we come home from work, kind of thing. There's no lunch boxes made up. So it's been a bit of a sad realization, I think, that actually how much Ed did do, because we were in such a routine of what we did every day, and to have a part that's suddenly, like, missing from that, it's, yeah. But we're glad to see him come back. Okay. If each alter could have their own type of profession, what do you think they would be? From Ty-C. Well, that's actually interesting, because I guess on our inner world, again, we do have our own professions, which, again, Jess believes reflects the kind of roles that we have out here. So, for example, inner world, okay, you guys don't laugh, okay, promise. Inner world, I am an actor, a singer, and I do a lot of Hollywood stuff, and that's what I'm kind of involved in. And we believe out here that means, like, because basically I was that, like I talked earlier about being a defense mechanism and like acting as Jess and acting as whatever I needed to be at the time to appease the people around us. That's playing into the inner world, right? So yeah, and that's why I'm so good at my job, inner world, because if I wasn't out here, then it would have gone horribly wrong. So that's part of it. Jamie is a doctor in a world, which again makes sense because he's smart and he's caring and he's always the first person to rush over with like band-aids and take care of people. And so again, it just makes sense. I guess Ed's is a little more dark, so again, trigger warning, just a little bit ahead. I'll try and be as vague as possible, but Ed is a hairdresser because he's artistic and creative, but also he's gone like snip snip in the past too. Yeah. So I guess it kind of, again, all ties in. It has some deeper meaning for us. So I guess we'd have those same professions out here if we could choose to. So yeah. Livy Denny. Whoa, Jake, the Hollywood Heartbreaker. Thanks. Okay. Michael, didn't you act in school plays when you guys were younger? I totally did. I loved them. Oh my gosh. I did The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. We did Little Shop of Horrors. We did, oh my gosh. Like, I love so much of the stuff that we did. Like, I did most of that. Jamie enjoyed himself in the choir. So, and it wasn't until Jess realized what was happening. So it was a genuine thing. And we were even supposed to be on an extra for like a really cool show at the time that I obviously can't disclose. And then Jess found out what was going on, which was like she basically, the penny dropped that she was losing time amongst like choir and amongst drama and amongst guitar lessons, because we did those too. And then she dropped it all. She dropped everything. She made us stop what we're doing. She made us pull out of everything. And for years, she tried to brush us under the carpet because she realized like that what kids were saying at school were actually true. And the only reason she noticed, again, it's like so cringy, okay? But I was like 13 or something, so bear with. Yeah, so we were in drama class, and her teacher always said to her, "Why do you go American? Every time you do an act or a performance, why are you speaking with this accent?" And Jess was like adamant. She was like, "I'm not. Like, why would you say that? Why would you even say that?" And anyway, this went on for a long time. And I kind of I knew I was there, but I didn't know how much I was taking over. I don't know. I just guess I didn't realize. I guess I was so excited by the prospect of doing what I enjoy. I just spoke. And then one day Jess's teacher recorded it, and then she played it back to Jess. And that's when the penny dropped for Jess, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy in my head that I remember from a kid is actually coming out and doing this for me." Like, she basically recognized me. And that's when she cut out all the stuff, all the drama class, all the guitar class, everything just went. And she was determined not to have us come out in her life again. And I guess here we are today. That didn't really go to plan. Okay. Is your entire world an entire town with other people, or just you and the other alters? It's actually like this world. Exactly like this world. Like, I guess in a game you'd have like NPCs, like non-playable characters, and we have the same. You know, we've got the mailman, we got teachers, we've got whatever. We have photographers, anything. We have that inner world too. Our inner world is considered very detailed, but it's also not uncommon for systems to not have an inner world, not have access to an inner world, or have a really plain inner world. Some people may just have like a house. Some people may have like an island, like anything random, but we have a pretty big inner world. We've met a couple of systems that have even larger ones than we do, and we're just blown away. Like, some systems we've met have like, say, like 100 altars. For us, that blows our mind because we're like, wow, like we're like dealing with 5 of us and like some frilly bits on the side. So that was like, wow. And they have like alternate universes. They have like a couple going on, and we're just like mind blown. Like, how does your brain have that capacity? But it does. And the brain is a fascinating thing. So yeah. Oh gosh. Do you remember becoming an alter from Snapple and Cats? No, I don't. I don't remember it. But Jess is doing this magazine at the moment. I can't release the name until we're definitely in there. but she's writing for this mental health magazine, and that's got her entire story. And back in there, you'll see the story of us and our imaginary hamster. This is our earliest memory together, when we were pretending to create an imaginary friend together. And, like, I guess, ironically, I was the imaginary friend, because we tried to make this imaginary hamster, and Jess was like, this is so boring, you know, like, let's go do something else. And, yeah, so I don't remember when I first came around, but I do remember being really small and trying to make an imaginary hamster. And, yeah, it just didn't go, it just didn't happen. Chloe Peters, will we only see Jake in this live stream? Probably. Sorry to disappoint you if you weren't looking forward to seeing me. Like I said, when we're pretty switched on and we're pretty focused on something, it's unlikely we'll switch. So I don't think that's going to happen. And I've been trying to build up everybody to come and do a live stream. So, yeah. Music Al, if you wanted to write a character with DID, how would you go about that? Okay, I would say just make sure to do a lot of research, or you don't even have to do like huge amounts, just get the basics right. And I think more than anything is trying not fall into the trope. Like, you know, I don't know, a sad person who gets even worse and is rescued by a love interest who accepts all the personality. I don't know, I don't buy into that. I think it should be something cool. I don't have any ideas off the top of my head, but I guess just try not to be too mainstream with the choice of character you choose for DID, and try and get some of the facts about it right if you can. Has Jess having children ever been discussed? From Tara. Yeah, Jess does want kids when the time is right. And again, that's her choice. I mean, we wouldn't, you know, I'd be fine with a kid. It's not a problem. But I wouldn't, yeah, I guess I wouldn't, like, particularly want children. I mean, I don't want children, and in a world, I don't want children. Like, I've never have wanted to. But Jamie is, like, super, super paternal, so he definitely wants kids, and he's, like, all over having kids. So, yeah, when the time is right. Small Bud says, is it possible for an alter to develop a mental disorder of their own? Yeah, it is. But it's kind of debated whether or not they have the disorder that basically the core personality should have had, or it's like they have traits of the disorder that could have happened, but they're kind of protecting the core. Like, it's really, there's a lot of jumbo that, as far as I know, but again, I'm not the fact expert. But yeah, like, I actually had bipolar. It's on our diagnostic records. Like, it's in there that I'm showing signs of bipolar disorder. But whether or not that can be officially diagnosed within us it's another, I don't know. I have no idea. But I think I'm getting over that now. So whatever changes happened, or maybe, you know, you can kind of grow out of having bipolar, like if it's been like a long time thing. So I don't know. I think I'm coming out of it, but again, I'd have to, I guess, see a super specialist person to tell me whether or not I am. But yeah. Ty C, do you ever think in the future you'll be able to have your own love interest? I think you'll be able to see for not only you. Thank you. I love you too. No, I don't think so. I think my fun is over. Yeah, I mean, when Jess got married, I was really determined then, like, no more kissing girls. No more. That's been the hardest thing. I mean, honestly, though, that's as far as I've ever gone with anybody, because I am so dysphoric of the body I'm in. I just can't go any further, because I'm like, no, I can't do that. But no, I thought it would be, I should protect essentially the sanctity of their marriage and not do anything like that again. So, no, I don't think I will have a relationship, which I'm slowly getting around, but again, some days are harder than others. So, yeah. Thank you, Magical Sofa. I'm glad you think my voice is cute. Is there a way to have your own body? If there were a way to have your own body, would you take the risks? From Anime Freak. yeah, like I kind of said earlier in the video, I think I'd definitely transition if Jess no longer was hosting and she wasn't going to come back. Then yeah, I definitely would go through that procedure because I am a guy and I feel like a guy. And I think to make myself feel more comfortable in however long that I'd be there, then yeah. And the rest of us are dudes. It makes no sense to stay female, if that makes sense. Jess is literally the only thing keeping us female to the outside, I guess. Gosh, I've talked so much. I'm like, oh, you can hear my throat's like, so apologies. Oh. Eric, any plans to travel back to the US again? Yes, I'd love that. I know Jess and Gaz want to go back for technically their 4th year anniversary. They got married on February 29th. So it's their first, but their 4th. They want to go back to California, which would be great. And yeah, we also want to go to Florida, go to Disney World, do the whole thing like that. And there's also a DID conference there. So Jess would be interested in going to that too. So yeah. Is Jess on the inner world when the others are out? No. We don't really know where Jess goes. She doesn't come to us. But our system's kind of weird with our inner world. Like, our lives are kind of separate. So we have ourselves that can come out here, and then we have our inner world selves that don't know their alters. They don't know anything about this world. So ourselves out here can watch what we're doing inside. But we can't ever be like, hey, don't do that, you're making a mistake. We can't do that. But as far as most systems go in our world, they can interact and know about this world. So we don't know why we're kind of different, but we guess we're missing like a layer in between, where probably Jess goes when she doesn't front. And we call it like the black room. It sounds kind of ooh. But we have found altars there. So we found little Jake there. We found a fragment called Kobe there. And we found the newest fragment that we have called Eli. We found him there as well. So we think there's this like little void place that's kind of, yeah. And we found him. I say we found him there because we only have dreams about it. And we dream like, yeah. So it's random. And it generally just crops up in a random dream about finding this random person in this black room, and then we're like, oh god, like, oh no, is that a sign? And then, you know, we keep dreaming about it, and then actually the person kind of pops up. That's the way it works for us. But again, every system's so unique. I can't say about how it works for everybody, but that's just our experience. Fragments are people, alters, with like a lesser, that are kind of lesser identifiable in a way. They have maybe a lesser role in the system, or they don't know much about themselves, or maybe they only have one role and that's it, like nothing else. So they don't know what they like to eat or like to do or like to just really, really 2D as a person. So they're basically lesser formed alters. Okay. Do you wonder why Jess is the only girl from Aaron? I guess we kind of solved our own riddle, so we figure it's because naively when she was a little girl, she thought to herself, if I was a boy, this wouldn't have happened. Or if I had an older brother, this wouldn't have happened. And she does remember really thinking about that. So I think that's why we all turn out to be guys, because to her, guys in another way were a safety blanket. So even though guys were kind of scary, guys were also safe. But she thinks that does well, like she thinks that's done well for her, because I know she talks about like desensitization a lot, and that's why, and how she can do her job now is because she's desensitized to all the stuff that could go on in the world. And so part of us being guys has really helped in her favor because she's desensitized to us now. So she grew up not fearing men too much, you know, by the time she got to like her 20s. It was pretty much like, okay, I can accept guys now and things are okay. So yeah. Lindsay, is there ever a time when an alter tries to take over for longer than needed or wanted? Yeah. I think we've kind of gone past like the fighting for front stage. Like it's been I think when we were younger, like teenagers, like, yeah, I think it was like, no, I'm going to spend as long as I can out, and I'm going to spend like a week out, and none of you guys can stop me, and I'm going to go on a bender, and I'm going to go to clubs and smooch all the pretty girls, you know. But no, I don't think so much now. I think we're pretty much like, okay, no, we have work, we have food, we have bed, we have just the routine, so we've got to compromise with that. For us to be successful, I think, like, growing up, obviously you learn very quickly that if you mess about in your system, you lose your job. If you lose your job, you don't have money. If you don't have money, you can't do nice things. And that's kind of how we've been taught, I guess. It's how we've kind of realized we need to all work together to be able to function. Ah, Emotionless Man, I look so pretty. Thank you. I'm so glad. um, oh, that's a cool one. Does everybody dream the same thing, or does everyone dream separately from mine? Yeah. We all dream differently. Years ago, Jess was keeping some notes on a forum. Let me just think. Yeah, so her notes were, Ed dreamt in black and white a lot of the time. His were very, from like a camera's point of view, like facing downwards. Sorry, I'm just like, yeah, so again, like, I guess I feel really rude, but Jess is there, and I'm sort of, yeah. So yeah, so like camera looking down on Ed, and it was very black and white. That was his kind of dreams. Jamie is very simplistically dreaming. His is generally like in a white room, and there's like a face, and something said, and that's it, poof, gone, dream's done. That's his kind of dreams, level of dreams. Mine are really weird. I always remember this one about like this random tiki head that was really big, and I had to kind of like do a limbo under it. You know why? I don't know, but my dreams are really colorful and random. Like somebody just put Skittles in my brain kind of thing. It's just like, wow. And I guess Jess is, weirdly, because this is a thing, right? Jess only has memories in the third person. So like a camera was filming your life, Jess only sees her life and her memories like that. In her dreams, however, it's the only time she looks at something from her own eyes. So, weird. Don't know why, don't know how that works, but yeah, apparently that depersonalization of like watching your life like a movie is, again, part of like a diagnostic thing for, I think, depersonalization. I don't know if that goes into DID as well, but yeah. Gosh, there's so many to choose from. I'm like, wow. It's like, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like, duh. So I'm like trying to read something, and then it just goes blah. So I'm trying to stick of something. Have you ever dreamt about another altar from Ellen? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we just dream about each other, and we see each other as we would see each other, because we have a really clear image of what we all look like. So yeah, definitely. What's everybody's favorite color? I can't pronounce your name, dude, but yeah. Everybody's favorite color. Mine is red, as by the shirt. I love red. I think it's really like passionate color, and it's a lot of like a big moody color, emotional, kind of like that. Jess's is pink, as by our nails. Like, I still got them on because they're gels, they're not going anywhere. So yeah, Jess's is baby pink. Ed is purple, Jamie's yellow, and Ollie's blue. There we are. How do you and your friends react when you come out, from Snapple and Cats? We kind of go in it really early with people we meet because we don't want to get too attached. So Jess will kind of like drop it in, like, well, I don't know, how she works it out, to be honest. She'll just kind of drop it in conversation and just be like, oh yeah, I have this thing. But she'll only do that if she thinks that she's really going to get on with this person and there's like a potential for a good relationship there, like a good friendship. Because she'd rather somebody leave her then and be like, you know what, you're too weird for me, I'm gonna go out now. Then like a year or so into their relationship, when she suddenly reveals this, and then it all goes wrong. And I think that's part of the problem that she had growing up. When we actually had our diagnosis, we lost a lot of friends. It was really weird. Like, the friends that we had that were used to us, even though they didn't know what we were or who we were, that we actually started to be a little bit more comfortable with and confident with. When we actually had a diagnosis, people suddenly stopped talking to us, and I think it's part of the stigma of what this disorder is. Like before, it was, hey, it's all fun and games. These people are nice. Like Jess must be pretending. I don't know what they thought, but when it was actually on paper, we did lose a lot of friends. So that was the unfortunate thing, you know? Oh gosh, so again, so many questions. Does everyone have a different taste in music? Yeah, I mean, we kind of all listen to each other's stuff now, so I guess after you listen to something like 20 times over, you kind of think, okay, I can deal with this. I won't go near Ed's like really heavy stuff though. That really puts me out. So I'd listen to heavy music and I don't know, like The Used, Marilyn Manson. I can't think of his bands. Bring Me the Horizon, stuff like that. Jamie will go more like All Time Low, Blink-182, which I'm cool with because they're cool bands. Fall Out Boy. And I guess I'm more of like a top 40 guy, so whatever's in the charts, I really enjoy. And Ollie likes stuff like Skrillex and grime and stuff that I'm like, where did you hear that stuff? So yeah. Do you speak? Oh gosh. Nope, lost the question again. Is Jessica conscious right now? Yeah. She's pretty close, which is cool. Mew meow, thank you. If it does get too stressful, I definitely will take a break. Thank you very much. Boo, has anybody ever reacted badly to your DID? Absolutely. And like I said, you know, we got the old friends that we told about it that were sort of like, okay, well, I'm not comfortable with that anymore. And even, I guess, workplaces, like in jobs that we've had when we don't tell work. We don't ever tell work, but because of doing campaigns and stuff like this, and doing that BBC documentary, that got back to an employer of ours that we were working for at the time. We had done perfect work. Jess was a brilliant employee. Because we were doing agency kind of stuff at the time, they'd offer her like a permanent post. And then they told her not to come into work. They pulled the post and then said, just don't come back, essentially. But because, I don't know, like what you guys know, but like, yeah, agency laws in the UK for work are really crap and employees aren't supported. So we managed to chase it up, actually. It took a year of us to be able to get our way with it. And then when they had no choice but to offer us our jobs back, we were kind of like, nah, we got a better job. Like, we just wanted to like take you guys on the roundabout, the merry-go-ride. But yeah, people shouldn't be like that at all. Oh gosh. Opal, I'm so proud of Jess for being okay with being so open. I'm so glad. Me too. It's taken a while, and it still is taking a while, and but we're getting there, you know? So thank you very much. How's the relationship between different alters and gas? From Sarah Presley. Yeah, it's different with all of us. Like we won't. I mean, me and Gaz aren't intimate at all. Like none of us are. We're really like against that. I mean, it's really kind of complicated. So Jamie is really affectionate as a person, so he'll kind of like cuddle Gaz and give him a kiss, but doesn't really mean anything, I guess. And then me, I don't. I'd give Gaz a hug, but I won't kiss him or anything because it's kind of weird. And then yeah, Ed kind of does have his own relationship with Gaz, but that's part of his role. So yeah, I guess yeah. And then Ollie, especially, like you said, they're just Ollie calls Gaz his godfather, like his godparent, and Gaz says the same about Ollie, and he actually did this thing the other day. We were talking to another couple who have a puppy about why Fable was called Fable, the puppy. And Gaz said, like, oh, my godson came up with the name Fable from the video game. So it's nice that Gaz has that, you know, and yeah, so it's very much like that. Delaney B, do you guys age? Yeah, we do age, but not all systems age. I guess we're kind of unique, but yeah. Oh gosh. Bella B, favorite YouTuber. Do you know what? Honestly, none of us really watch YouTube. We're so bad at it. But Ollie's the only one that watches YouTube, and he's obsessed with Markiplier. He will watch Markiplier to death. So, but I don't actually know if he explores out of that box. So, yeah. Let's Complain Together says, how do you go about getting diagnosed? Oh, sorry, Cotton Candy Glob? I can't tell, like, which name it is, but yeah, you can get diagnosed, I guess, by first, you should go to your GP, see what they can do, see where they can signpost you, and after that, like, if you're knocked back several times over, it might be wise to try and seek out somebody who is a specialist. So Google's your friend, find out somebody who knows about DID, and is basically willing to tell you whether or not is what you're suffering with DID or not, and somebody will be able to tell you. Brianna, have you ever seen the United States of Tara? Do you think it's what do you think of the representation of DID? Yeah, we actually really like the United States of Tara. I think for Jess, it was because she was a functional mom. You know what I mean? She had her kids who loved her a lot. She had a loving husband. She had a beautiful house. You know what I mean? Like, she did well. She did well for what she was suffering with. And just basically for that reason alone, we thought it was great. I mean, obviously the switches were a little over the top. The dressing up was over the top. I mean, you know, like I said, I put like a little trademark something on when we come into YouTube, and that's to help us do the separation, which I guess is, again, probably what United States of Tara did. They're very much like, we need people to have this visual representation of the different parts. But yeah, I mean, naturally, I won't go put my shirt on, or I won't, like, Jamie won't go and put on his glasses. It's whatever we're in at the time. So, but yeah, actually, it was pretty good. And then they rushed the third season, which was blah. But yeah, it was good. I don't have any questions. Just want to say I really like you guys. Aw, thank you, Judith. That's really nice. Don Kitty asks, what's co-consciousness? So co-consciousness, I think we did like a little, I put a little still in the last video that Jess did because I thought it was kind of kooky. But yeah, so co-consciousness is kind of where somebody's at the front, somebody's like talking to you and outwardly talking to you, and then there's somebody like in the back. So a good explanation is, like, years ago we found this brilliant piece of art on DeviantArt that explained exactly this, and this is where we've had this idea ever since. So if the body is a car, whoever's in the driver's seat is in the front, right? Is like driving the body. So if you're co-conscious, you can be in the passenger seat, the back seat, or the boot. So if you're in the passenger seat, obviously you can talk and you can see a lot of what's going on and you can sort of interact. If you're in the passenger seat, you've got less of that. And if you're in the boot, you can't see anything at all, you know? And that's very much like sort of the degrees of memory when an alter is out of what you can have. So it's really clever. Tara, Jake, can you sing for us? Not today. Maybe sometime when I'm not too embarrassed or dry in the throat. It's my excuse. I'm sorry. There are actually like some, I don't know, audio clips somewhere, but I'm not gonna go search for them. The Bonkers Brit, you guys have helped me so much. Thank you for doing what you do. No problem. Thank you. I'm so pleased it helps you. Yeah, and I'm so glad we can do something for people like that. So I really, really appreciate it. Oh gosh, like I just like I'm trying to read everybody's questions, and then I'm like thinking of them, and then and then I'm forgetting them before I processed it. I'm so sorry. Josh Rule, how old was Jess when she was diagnosed, and what were her initial feelings? She was diagnosed at 19 years old, not 16, like there is a video out there, an interview we did that says 16. That is wrong. We were 19. And that was after university, well, during university, because we were around, I guess, professors of psychology like all day, every day. Basically, her tutor was like, you know what, you need to get diagnosed because I believe you have this, and we need to be able to support you at uni, but to do that, we need this medical documentation and this evidence because, policy and rah-rah. So that's the only that's the only reason why Jess pushed herself to go and do it. And yeah, so her feelings about it were a mixture of joy and relief, but also really like sad and upset with the fact that that is the label she now has for the rest of her life, kind of thing, and she was worried about how that would hold her back. So, what's in my hand? Chloe, see? Just drink. Just trying to keep hydrated. Chachelle and Rogers, did you all experience the hormonal size of being in a female body? I don't know. That's actually a really good question. It's one of those questions that I want to pull up Gaz to ask when he's downstairs and doing his thing, so I best not. But I don't know. I haven't really noticed as such from my point of view, but I don't know if any outsiders have. I know, though, Ollie is definitely having... whether it's a mimic or an actual thing of teenage hormones, like he's from there to there in an instant, like, "Rawr, I'm so angry, I'm frustrated with you, I'm gonna shout at you and tell you all my problems, I hate you," kind of thing. It's really, like, because Gaz has known him, I guess, since Ollie was about 7, so, I guess it's been, like, a long time, and he's been commenting recently on Ollie's, ups and downs, shall we say, but yeah. Oh yeah, technically, how long should I be live streaming for? Technically, I only scheduled in an hour, but it's up to you guys. Do you want me to call this one a day, or do you want me to go for like another half hour, see how we get on? It's up to you guys. So I'm just waiting for like the stream to catch up before, yeah. Keep going, says Tasty. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm just like really hot now, so I'm gonna like strip a little bit, but yeah, sorry. And the window's open too, but I'm not feeling it, and I'm like, ugh, it's so hot. Okay. If it isn't too harsh of a question, what kind of trauma can cause DID? Miller Lens, I think it's it. So trauma... It can be like anything from emotional abuse, physical abuse, neglect, etc. So any kind of the types of abuse. But it also has to be basically not soothed. So the person has to have like a disorganized attachment with caregivers and family members. I feel so smart saying that. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I think that's what it is. So there needs to be a lack of soothing too. Basically a lack of comfort for the kid. And generally, like, it's over a long period of time, too. It's not generally one event and that's it. It's generally, even if there is, like, one event, there is no soothing for probably for their life kind of thing. It's really, yeah. And then some people get DID and other people don't. And they don't suffer with DID or, even if they're traumatized. I don't know why. I guess there's a bit of biology in there, too. But, yeah. What do you think about alters having a relationship with somebody from this world, said Isabella. Yeah, carry on. Like, if your host allows you to, then that's brilliant. And I wish I could have that, so I'm super jealous. Yeah. But yeah, I know some alters and some systems that actually do have relationships with people out here. Yeah, and I guess that can be difficult, and I know a lot of systems now are converting kind of to polyamory and going down that route, but for us, that just doesn't suit us or suit our ideals, so it's not something that we'll do. I haven't seen Split yet, Phoebe, but we're determined. Actually, my idea is I want Ed to watch Split, because I think that's one thing that he would do, and he would let me record without too much fuss, so... I want him to watch Split, and I want him to comment on it during it. And yeah, let me know his thoughts essentially. But I think it'd be kind of ironic, like an alter watching Split, which I thought would be funny. But that's just another crazy YouTube idea I have. So, yeah. Have you guys ever taken part in art therapy? No, we haven't. But I think I'd love to. Like Jess is, she's volunteering at this art therapy. No, at this therapy place at the moment, and she's met a few art therapists there, and she's really like fascinated. She's like, wow, like I totally wish I could have a session with you, but you know she's doing that as volunteer work. So yeah, be interesting, I think. Haven Tinker says, do you ever get dysphoric? Yeah. I talked a little bit earlier about it, so I do get super dysphoric in the body I'm in. And I guess, like, I'll do stuff like, not necessarily bind anymore. It's kind of too much of an effort. Because, again, by the time I've done that, it's likely somebody else is going to take over because they're like, what the heck's going on? So I'll generally wear stuff that's better, that makes me feel more comfortable. Maybe like baggy t-shirts, some sports bras to like strap us down. Yeah, just little things like that. And I think a couple of years ago was when like my dysphoria was really bad. So I'd also dress up as myself a little bit more. Like I get my contacts, I get like the same color hair in a wig like as mine, and just feel more like me. And I guess it's kind of sad, but yeah. Oh, Lynn, thank you ever so much. You're so sweet. Thank you. Okay. What do you think about people who write, think I saw, stories on DID? Yeah, fine. Like I said, it's no problem, but I just wish that some people get their information right, because even if it's fiction, and I know it's stupid, but even if it's fiction, people will believe it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they'll kind of get an idea from it, like, oh, that's how it kind of looks. It would be nice if somebody wrote a book about the ID that didn't portray people as, like, crazy monsters that, you know, need a miracle to come and save them kind of thing. Like, that was fine. Is it possible for DD to not be fully developed, says Fran? That would be DDNOS as far, well, it's changed the name now. It was dissociative disorder, not otherwise specified, and now it's OSDD, so it's other specified dissociative disorder, and then there's different strains of that. So you can't technically get a lesser DID, but you can get OSDD. Dude, the way you and Jess work together give me hope that I'll have a normal life. From Ice Evans. Thank you. I'm so pleased that we can help in some way, and that's kind of the message that we want to give out, is to say you can do it and we believe in you and you guys are great. So I'm so pleased we could help. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, comments crazy again. Do you have rules about no getting piercings, no getting tattoos, no getting nail painting, etc. from Tay C? Jess has a real phobia, I guess, actually, of tattoos and piercings, which is why we've never had any. Because it would, I think, even though, like, I'd love some tattoos, and Ed would love some piercings and tattoos, I think as much as we like them, we both know deep down that if we did that, we'd really upset Jess, like, really upset her, and that is not worth it. Like, just don't do it. So it's not a rule as such. I guess we're just kind of empathic and kind of realize that it's going to do a lot more harm than good if we did something like that. And we have a lot of questions too about why don't the guys like all cut our hair off and go bald or whatever, you know. But that's another thing. It makes Jess feel more like Jess, which is really important to me. I don't know how about anybody else, but to me that's really important, is that Jess feels confident in herself too. So that's like one thing. The other thing is also because Ed chooses basically about hairstyles and stuff. Like, Jess never ever wanted to be blonde. She was frightened of going blonde and doing anything different to her hair that wasn't just, well, she never cut her hair, she never dyed her hair, so it was very much Ed that was like, no, we need some shape, we need some color. And then he slowly integrated that in over some years. And yeah, like, we've been blonde, I think, oh gosh, I don't know how many years now. Probably like at least 10 years. So yeah. I'm just like catching my breath now. It's like, I talked for so long. um, have you ever changed personalities in between a conversation? That's a hard one. I don't think so, because earlier in the video I was talking a little bit about like when you're concentrating, you tend to remain where you are because you don't kind of have time to dissociate. But sometimes you can too. Like earlier, I completely forgot about a question because it's just part of it. It just goes blah, gone. And you're like, oh, okay, thanks. So I guess in a way, but generally that means there's another person that suddenly becomes co-conscious. But I wouldn't say the person comes out halfway through a conversation. I don't think I've seen that from people that we've known with DID either, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't swear by it, but it's not something that happens to us. Thank you. Your laugh is adorable. I'm so pleased. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. Can you ever switch on command sometimes? I guess it's not so much on command. It's more like if we're preparing ourselves to be around, that can happen. Like tonight for this live stream, I was like, no, I'm determined. I'm going to be there. So I kind of hovered about and listened to the music I like in between work and stuff all day. So I kind of stay by just to make sure. But that's why we also put like a disclaimer that, hey, you know what, actually we might not make it to this live stream. We might not be able to make it at all. And we're really sorry in advance if that happens because, for example, I don't know, I have no idea what triggers our newest fragment out, Eli, at the moment. But something triggered that, hit him out. He wouldn't know about this live stream. He wouldn't know what to do. He wouldn't know what's happening. And that would be it. Gone forever. And yeah, I'd miss the live stream completely. So the problem is with planning stuff like this is that we can never be 100% sure. We'll do our best. But yeah. When you look in the mirror, do you see yourself with brown hair? Or do you see Jess from Bib Larm? That's an interesting question. I avoid mirrors because I don't really see me. But interestingly, like when I look down, I see more of me. It's kind of, we've sort of coined the term, we don't know if it exists, like a pseudo hallucination. Like we kind of, like if we don't concentrate too much when we're looking down, you can kind of see the outline and where stuff's supposed to be and like this feel for stuff. Then if we concentrate it, like I'm like, oh yeah, Jess has these nails on, you know. And that's like, I usually have a habit of picking them off, and Jess has gotten really good at choosing colors that are very skin-ish tones, so they don't like pop out at me. Because when Ed likes the bright colors or the blacks, so the moment he puts those on, I can't help it, they're off, because they just distract me too much when I'm moving my arms around here, I guess. Do you all have different views on religion and politics? Asks Tara. Yeah, I don't know so much about politics. I don't think the rest of us are interested in politics. We probably should be. But Jamie is the politics leader in our system. He does politics. And Ollie's going through a stage at the moment, as I think any teenager would, or any kid would, and he's like, yeah, but what about this at this other party? What about this? And he's trying to not conform to what Jamie wants, but Jamie's just too good, and he smacks down every time, and there's just no way. So we let Jamie have his way because it's important to him. I can't remember the question. I know you said there was politics. Oh, religion. Yeah, I guess we used to be a lot more Christian. Like my sister Jenny, she was an altar way back when. She was very Christian. And I guess since she integrated, we've not had much of that. Ollie's a very strong atheist, like a really strong atheist. And I'm like, I consider myself like a lay Buddhist. I really love reading stuff and excerpts from like the Pali Canon and just looking into, you know, Buddha's words, and like, yeah, I really like the thought of the reincarnation and getting to Narnia, and I do all this Nirvana. Oh my gosh. Nirvana. Not Narnia. I mean, I love the idea of Narnia too, but you know, and meditation and stuff like that. And actually, I really think that's benefited our mental health, is a meditation that's gone alongside that. So, yeah, it's been brilliant. Is it possible to have an animal alter? From what I've heard, yeah. We don't have any experience with that whatsoever. Yeah, you can have animal alters. So, I'm glad I made people laugh. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I said that. Oh gosh. Comments. I keep reading them and they're like, blah, gone. I really didn't expect this turnout too. Like, wow, like I'm so happy. Can't believe so many people are interested and turned up to listen to me like talk crap. So thanks. What are your thoughts on people faking systems? I can't understand why. I don't understand why people would. We try not to play armchair psychiatrist because, like, I guess as with you guys, we only put out footage of what we want to show out on air, and it really bugs Jess when somebody's like, this person doesn't have DID, she has NPD, and she has BPD, and she... I was like, what? But dude, you don't know anything, and this has been corroborated by I don't know how many, like, professionals and psychiatrists over the years. Like, we don't want to hear your armchair psychiatrist thoughts. It's not true. Please stop trying to diagnose us because it's super disrespectful. So, with that in mind, we try and not decide whether or not we believe people are real or fake either. So, as much as I think we do have our thoughts and we keep it to ourselves, we're really reluctant to share any of that information because that's not up to us. And again, what people post online is only a small part of what's going on for them, and they can make it sound however they want. So you don't really know if they're faking or if they are and they need the attention, and then what's behind that. Is there a story behind that? So yeah. Oh, T-Dem, super salad. I don't know. Both. I'll have both. Thanks. Do I plan on doing more live streams in the future from Heidi? Yeah, I'd like to, because I think this has been really successful. So long as you guys are happy with that, I'd be more than happy with that. That's no problem at all. Yeah, I think it's gone really well, and I appreciate you guys putting up with my sweaty face and my rambles. So yeah, as long as you guys can stand it again, I'd be more than happy to. But I don't know whether or not anybody else from System will. Jamie probably will if I badger him enough, to be fair. Oh, sorry, I just wondered if there was a cat in the window. Hufflewolf. No, it's a little rat. Because they asked, sorry for anybody who didn't see the comment fly up, asking if we still had guinea pigs. We do still have guinea pigs, but that's a little rat, and that's actually our housemate's rat. So, she's in her cage. But we do have guinea pigs still. We have Hamlet still reigning supreme, and he's my pig. And we also have Chai and Oreo. So, we did have, in Ollie's video, there were 2 other guinea pigs, but they were rescue pigs, and they were really old, so they didn't last very long, unfortunately. We had them for like a couple of years, but yeah, they were pretty old when they passed away, sadly. So we got 2 new babies, and they're great. Ooh. Okay. Sorry, I can't even like stick to a comment to read it. Sorry. Do we have a P.O. box? No, we don't. I've been looking into trying to do something like that because I love people to send us stuff and just like, yeah. But we don't have a P.O. box, unfortunately. Like, maybe something we can look into in the future. Yeah. Maybe. Can I tell what others are doing in the inner world right now? Usually, if we're pretty switched on, yeah, we're able to like look in. But our inner world has been so hazy since the new fragment has shown up. We're not able to access it that quickly anymore. We're sort of like waiting for tidbits of information from the inner world to come through. So, whereas we probably usually could, we can't today. Sorry. Thoughts on Psycho? I've never watched Psycho. I probably need to. We've never watched Sybil either. Like 2 shows that we should probably really give a shout to. Yeah, we've never seen them. How do I ask longer worded questions without you getting overwhelmed? From MPLS Rose, because it's 5th time asking. I'm sorry. I don't know. Just ask a question and we'll see how it rolls. Like, we're not really triggered very easily at all, so yeah, feel free to send anything our way. Will this be posted as a video? Yes. Yeah, I'm planning to. If you guys can sit through like the hour and 20 minutes so far, yeah. Thank you so much for doing this. No problem, T-Dem. Is it ever awkward for you if you're flirting with a girl in Jess's body from Dead Kitten? Yeah, I guess. That can be very awkward. But, like, I don't really do that anymore because, you know, she's married now. I gotta try and be good. But actually, even when I'm not, I mean, I don't know if Joe, when I was, like, right at the beginning of the chat, our friend Joe was in the chat. When we were out at a nightclub, actually, just a general nightclub, it was me out, like, because we were, like, you know, obviously nightclub, like, nobody's gonna know me, so I can kind of talk and act like me, nobody cares. This girl came up and was just like, wow, you're so cute, like, I'm straight, but wow, like, there's something about you that reminds me of a guy, and I was like, hey, great, that's, thanks, that's a good compliment. So yeah. What does it look like when you switch alters from Matilda? I don't know. I can't really comment on us because I've never watched us switch, because I can't. But from our friends and people we met up with now with DID, it looks like you're dazing off into space, really. You kind of get really spacey and hazy, and you can kind of see people just, like, that. That's pretty, like, that's a pretty, like, switchy face, right? It's, like, just staring at something, kind of not even registering anything, like, lights are on but nobody's home kind of deal. So it probably looks like that, and then a couple of eye blinks later, and then you've got another alter. It's really not fancy. And actually, it's something I've thought about, like how I want to shoot a video showing that. How am I gonna do it without it not being fake, in a way? And that's gonna be really hard to do. So I don't know. I don't know how much of it will just be for demo, or if I can actually capture something. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'd like to be able to show that. But it's not. There's no fireworks. There's nothing fascinating, and switches are generally really, like, covert, so you can't really see. You've been here from the start. Aw, thank you, Lynn. Did I know there's gonna be a second split film from Phoebe? Yeah, I heard about that. I'll have to do, like, round 2 with how pissed the ID community are. But yeah, I just don't get it. I don't think I could see it. I mean, we started watching a film some time ago. I can't remember what it was. It was something really. It was like a really cool horror film. And then partway through it, it's like this person is suffering with multiple. Just turn it off. Like it just ruins the I don't know, the interest for us. It's just like just for God's sakes, like shut off. So yeah, I think that's why, like, we've been reluctant to watch this, because it's just going to be a cringe fest for us, like, right from start to finish, because it's just going to be exactly the same, but who knows. Do you have a set schedule of when you switch from Rianne? Not a schedule as such, but more of a routine. So, you know, it's not even like who's out. It's more like, okay, we're up in the morning at 6 a.m. We do this with the dog, and we take him for a walk. Then we, like, get ready, have breakfast, go to work, blah. Jess is out 9 to 5, and then work. We come home. We need to do whatever we need to do, make dinner, settle down, have an hour to ourselves, and go to bed. So obviously, like, between that, we have to figure out who's having that precious, like, couple of hours to themselves, and yeah, that can be one of the hardest times, I guess. Poor Jess, she barely gets any time to herself. But yeah. I'm careful not to repeat any stuff as well, because I'm aware, like, I'm sorry if you think I'm ignoring, and there's loads of questions anyway, but I'm sorry if you think I'm ignoring you. I may have already answered that in the video, and I don't want to go over topics too many times. Oh no, I'm trying to. Oh yeah, no, I keep trying to read one, and they're like gone. I can't believe how many people are here. It surprised me so much. Perks of being an alter. I don't know if there are many. Nope, probably not. I mean, none that come to my mind anyway. No, I guess you're kind of hindered. Like, you don't really have your own life, and you don't make your own choices, you don't do your own thing. It's, without being too depressing, it's a bit like a prison, I guess, because, yeah, you've got so many restrictions, you just can't decide that you don't want to do that anymore, you just have to. Do you have to tell Gas who is out every morning? No, from Haven, no, we don't. No, we never tell or announce ourselves in front of close friends or Gaz. They just know. So, Gaz knows who's sleeping too. So he started saying, like, Ollie has started snoring recently, and Ollie's like, no, I'm not snoring. Like, you're getting mixed up with Jamie, and he's like, no, I'm not. It's definitely you. You're snoring now. So yeah. I love your channel from Emma. Thank you, Emma. That's so cool. How old was Jenny and what was she like? How old was Jess when she was around? I don't know when Jen started. I know Jenny left probably when we were near 20 was the last sighting, maybe 1920, something like that. Jen was really fun. I think Jess sort of integrated a lot of her personality. So, she loved pink, and she was blonde, and she was really confident. But Jess is, like, kind of really shy and anxious. So I think it kind of pulled a little bit and balanced it out. So she's much better now than she used to be Jess. Yeah. Ollie is really funny on Tumblr. Yeah, he's a little cheeky on Tumblr, too. So watch out for him. How often do you switch from Lindsay? Oh, gosh. Again, how long's a piece of string? I can't really say. Don't know. Like, sometimes we don't come out for days. Other times it's like we've had, like, I don't know how many switches in a day, like, just over and over. So, yeah. Does integrating mean going away from Brie Button? Yeah, it does, essentially. It means that you don't come out anymore, and you've integrated a part of yourself into the body of, or into another alter, essentially. So. Oh, hey, Gaz. We got asked a question earlier, which was really interesting. What do you think about, do we get affected by hormones that Jess has, like, during her time of months and stuff, or not? Come into the camera, look a bit more professional.
No.
No, don't say no.
Light.
Light. It's probably better light than this one.
No. You need that one on to bounce off your face.
Okay. My gross, sweaty face.
It's not. It's just more white balance, unfortunately. It's too yellow.
Gaz is here. Say hi, Gaz.
Special guest. That's just showing a right shoulder.
Hey, there he is.
I'll drink off camera because I don't want to be that kind of person. Ask her.
Yeah, so they were asking, and I said I didn't really know the answer because obviously I don't see us.
I'm going to be honest, it's not anything that I've ever noticed, so...
I said the only one with hormone problems really at the moment is Ollie.
That's because a grotty little teenager. Unfortunately, we've all been there. Yeah, no, it's not anything that I've ever particularly noticed, so... Aye.
Sorry, I just saw a comment go up there, and then somebody said, I asked so many times, that made me feel awful, I'm so sorry. And then I think they said, what is the new fragment like, and how are they?
Yeah, but I actually caught that on the, pardon me.
Nice.
You
Come here.
it.
Come here. Like, come into the camera. There. There. Okay, now that's
God, that is shiny.
That is. It's because it's warm. It's really
It's not like a massive forehead and it's sweating like crazy. Yeah, so I did actually see one of the comments a second ago about because I loaded up on my on the TV downstairs, and they basically someone basically said, "What is the new fragment like?" or "Who is in a fragment?" So that's one of the questions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, do you want to answer?
Because
I don't know. I don't have any memory when that guy comes out at all.
So like,
I've not even met him.
Gaz, can you help with the comments? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and like sort of read little ones because they are going quite quick.
Well, answer that one.
Okay, and I am sorry. Right. Okay, so the new fragment is a dude called Eli who's pretty much like Ed, but polar opposite of Ed. Rather than difficult upbringing, attitude and everything else, good general upbringing, very happy individual. So it's almost like Ed but softer and happier, if that makes sense. So that's what the new fragment is, pretty much. It's a bit of my one. Will you ever do a Q&A with Gaz? Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I've done enough of them on the videos, to be honest. I found your channel because of Bates Motel, Split and Psycho, and I did my GCSE in English on DID. Cool.
Don't be just like, you have to loud it.
Okay, I don't know. I speak loud, but not on camera.
See, look at me like guiding Gaz.
I speak really quietly.
Oh, you did your GCSE English speech on DID. How cool is that?
Gaz, what was it like for you when Jake first came out? Oh, Christ. It was
Oh,
years
gosh.
ago. It was when me and Jess were friends. Like, honest, I cannot remember.
I remember not wanting to see you because I was like, who is this dude that's touching Jess and kissing her? Like, no, you don't do that.
No, I know. I can't remember it very well.
I didn't see Gaz for 6 months.
Aria Bird 1 said, Gaz, is it hard getting to know a new artist? No, not really. It's like getting to know a new friend in a friend group. You don't know them very well, but you can sort of like, you gauge your reactions off what those other friends are like. So, it's basically like gauging a new friend from a friend group and then getting to know them like that. It's not at all. Nikita Santa Maria said, Gaz, is it overwhelming for you at any time? It can be sometimes, but not a great deal. I'd like to say I cope with things pretty well. My own emotions not so much. Everyone else's I'm fine with. It can get a bit overwhelming. It can get a bit stressful, especially at times when... So, I mean, for example, when Jess was in university, I went for a period of like sort of 3-4 months when I didn't see her, maybe upwards of 6 months where I didn't see her. It can get a bit stressful, but it's just one of the things you've got to deal with, unfortunately. You're in a relationship with anyone that has any sort of mental disorder, that's the wrong word I can really use. Mental condition. Any sort of condition, physical or mental-wise. You've just got to adapt and overcome. So, yeah. Do you and Jess want kids? Yes, I want a little girl that I can get into motor racing because fuck the gender norms.
Okay, hey, we can do this again with another live stream. Let's not intrude on my live stream.
Into all the intruding. I'm just gonna carry on. Can
I have another water, please? Because I'm like drying up. Thank you.
You should have a Corona.
I don't want a Corona. Just water is fine. We'll do it.
Other beers are available.
Guys, no, this is not product placement. I don't have that with YouTube.
I'll give you a water now.
Yeah, if we can do maybe actually, like, it was cool that Gaz got so much attention too, so maybe we can have Gaz do a Q&A. That'd be great. If you guys think that's cool too.
Logitech have made a new camera that is 4K enabled.
Okay, cool.
But it does 4K at 60 FPS and it's an absolute beast. So I want to invest in that sometime in the future. So
cool.
Anyway, I'll catch you later.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye stream.
We have to like kind of shimmy over.
Do you want this big light on or no?
Yeah,
it's much better.
It's much better. Okay, we'll leave that on.
Oh, saying that actually.
No, just what? What
now? I
now?
might actually be able to hold this down now.
Oh yeah.
Because it's
that'd be nice.
Dimmer. So you've got multiple light sources in now. That
multiple lights, multiple personalities. Sorry, that was bad. Okay, no, turn this light off. I think that needs to come off.
There you go.
Okay, cool. That's cool. I'll turn this up a little bit. There we are. Hooray. Okay. Guys, somebody said lol 4K forehead sweat.
Wait, what?
4K forehead sweat.
4K forehead sweat. I'll give him 8 head sweat.
It's okay, we'll powder your nose. Like, I powdered mine. Look, see? It's still sweaty. Who's nervous about you streaming today, says Emmy. Basically everybody. Ollie said he was nervous. Jess said she was nervous. I say everybody. That's all I've spoken to today. Like, I haven't seen Ed and Jamie today. Yeah, both of them said that they were nervous and they weren't sure if this was the right thing. And actually, even me, like a couple of minutes before the live stream, I got real butterflies. Like, oh my gosh, I hope this goes okay. And yeah, like I think like 99% of everything so far has been really positive and really cool. So yeah, thank you very much. Uh, oh gosh, how is the new little floofball of the family? He is sleeping downstairs. Otherwise, we'd get him. But the problem is, I guess if we woke him up, he just wouldn't sleep again forever. So, yeah, he's okay, but he's sleeping. Do you guys have pets in the inner world? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, Jamie and Ed do on Ollie, I guess. They have a dog called Odin, who is a black, like, long-haired German Shepherd kind of looking dog. Yeah. I don't have any, though. Because I travel too much, so. My best friend is deity, and they haven't told their family. Since they're 17, there isn't much they can do and want help. Any advice? Oh, gosh. I mean, I'd be lying if I could tell you the remedy or the best thing to do. I mean, we remember being that age as well. I guess, honestly, the best thing, personally, I'd say is to hang tight, just get the system to function through the time that they're with the family, and get out and get your own house, your own place, or get to uni, or whatever you can do, and then maybe broach stuff. Because at least that way you're kind of safe if you get a bad reaction. So yeah, that's what I'd say. How do you all experience time from Snappling Cats? Time is random and weird. Like, I know when we haven't come out for like days at a time, Jess thinks it's a really long time. Because I guess we're used to not having much time. Like, our life goes really fast. I think. I mean, I say I think because I don't know what a normal person experiences time like. But to us, when we don't come out for a while, like, Jess thinks everything's really slow. And she's like, really? Like, it's only, like, whenever o'clock? Like, she can't believe it because there's nothing happening. So, yeah. Question from a friend who couldn't make it. What does it feel like when you switch? Somebody described it pretty well earlier for me, and that's kind of like falling asleep, like just as you're about to, but it's almost like you're fighting the sleep, kind of, but you fall asleep anyway. It's really weird, but I guess that's kind of the feeling. I can't describe it much better than that, but I hope that makes sense. Who swears the most? From Tay, that's gotta be Ed. He does swear the most. I think I swear the least. I'd like to think Ollie does, because he shouldn't be swearing. But yeah. If one alter studies and learns something new, is the information accessible for all alters? Or just the one who learned it? That's an interesting question. It can go either way, essentially. Sometimes we have a lot of bleed through from the stuff that we do. Other times it only goes to one person. I think more than anything with us, we just have to do things more for us to remember how to do it. And that's like collectively, I think. It's more like the fact that we took 2 years of driving lessons. It's kind of a classic. Like we have to do things longer to get into the mindset and the routine and get us used to it. But again, I think I'm sure pretty much in other systems it works in different ways, and it just depends on how the brain's dissociated and divided, I guess. Do Iris and Fable notice changes between different alters? I don't think so. But I'm not sure if that's because they're used to it, or because they don't care, or because they just don't. I have no idea. Although Ollie's been saying that he noticed Fable, like, mouths him more, like, bites his face and whatever. And he also tries to hump Ollie, and he's never tried to hump any of us. And Jess has said it's likely because if he is picking up on the fact that Ollie's a kid, technically he's kind of at the bottom of the hierarchy. So I guess in that way he'd try and get one over on Ollie first before he works his way up the chain. So yeah, I think out of anybody it would probably be Fable that's noticing changes, but as far as we're concerned, it's only been towards Ollie so far. Oh, and Jess mentioned that with her, he gets the most excited. And that's A, because I think she was around a lot when we first got him, like pretty much all the time, like really mothered him. And B, it could be just because her voice is lighter, she makes more of an excited voice, and Doc could be reacting to that. So it depends really. I'm not sure, like whichever way you want to look at it. Do you ever find the body has muscle memory of something you can't do? I guess really the only thing that comes to mind is the fact that Jamie needs glasses and the rest of us don't. So that's to do with muscle memory. Apparently when we've gone to the opticians, like if we send Jamie, the lens is slightly skewed, I think they said. So I guess that would be muscle related. And that would be in the way that we hold ourselves, I guess. Thank you for being there from you. You guys helped us to figure out how to deal with our DID better and made our life easier. I'm so pleased. Well done for you guys, like, going through this journey as well. Do you guys have the same birthdays or share one from Perplexed Wishes? We have different birthdays. So, my birthday is Valentine's Day, February 14th. Jamie's is September 20th. Jess's is September 27th. Ed's is November the 8th, and Ollie's is October 30th. Whew, I did it. Yeah, so we have different birthdays. Again, we believe they have different meanings for us in our past. Mine would be from around about the first trauma, but we're unsure about the rest and if they're indicative of trauma as well, or if they're just random birthdays. I have no idea. No idea. What was it like to spend time with other systems for the first time? From Eric. Yeah, it was really cool. I can't think of the first time exactly. I guess our recall's pretty crap. But I know just spending time with systems in general is really great because you don't have to talk about, I don't know, about like how anything is. You just kind of get it. You just tell people, oh, this happened to me and this is going on. And everybody's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get that too, and this is that. And that's cool to have somebody that's so relatable and you can just talk to without having to explain stuff. Which I found that even like just when we see therapists or when we see medical professionals or mental health professionals, that's something we constantly have to explaining over and over again. It's like, so yeah, it's nice. What do you think about age sliders from James Leo Oliver? Yeah, age sliders can happen. And I know some years ago, Ollie was age sliding between, I don't know how old he was at the time, but between that and 17. But he hasn't in years, so we don't count him as an age slider anymore. But yeah, age sliders can happen. So yeah. Snappling cats, is anybody out less than the others? Yeah, but it ranges. Like, it differs all the time. Like, sometimes I'm not here for months. Other times it's maybe, like Ed hasn't been out for months. And Jess has been out a lot more lately, which I'm really happy about, actually, because, yeah, she deserves to. She deserves to have her own time and stuff. I know that Ollie comes out a lot more, I think, really, when the body or Jess or just us overall kind of need to recover, because he has kind of no worries and no obligations because he's a kid, and Gaz kind of says, oh, hey, can you take out the trash? And then he'll go take out the trash kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's somebody directing him rather than making the decisions. So, oh, I missed you so much, Tam. Thank you. Can you do a British accent from Tess? Oh, gosh. Probably, yeah. But I have no idea how it's going to turn out, okay? So, I've been told I sound a lot like Jamie, and I probably do. So, hang on, let me warm up. I don't know what to say, though. That's the problem. Like, what do I say? Okay, I've got a poster here about the Stig. I'm just gonna read off that. He appears on Japanese banknotes. There's an airport in Russia named after him. All we know is he's called the Stig. Here we are. That's my British impression. Um, yeah. Hello, mate. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Does having a YouTube channel about DoD help the system? Do you recommend it to other systems? Is it safe? That's a good question in the fact that I don't... It's hard. I think the first time Jess did it, I mean, she shut it down. She shut it down the first time she did this channel because the comments were just too much for her. Like, some of the really negative comments just drove her to shut it all down. But I'm pleased to say, actually, this time around that we've done it, it's like 99% positive, and then you get the 1% asshole that just decides that they want to be whatever. And then there's some people who are a little bit like trying to get false information, and that's sort of slightly upsetting too, but not as badly as like the 1%. So it depends, honestly, how thick your skin is. I think that takes a lot of practice. If you're feared like getting made fun of, or you're getting feared of being called a faker or anything like that, then I would not recommend going on YouTube. However, if you can approve comments, I guess like we do, and make sure that somebody else can maybe watch it and go through the comments and prune them and make sure they're okay, then yeah, give it a shot. But I will say pay attention to your own mental health and pay attention to how you're feeling, and if it's too much, do not carry on or disable comments or whatever it is you need to do. But yeah, don't feel obligated. What's your dream job? Jake, please answer from Demon Spawn. My dream job is being an actor, hooray, in a Hollywood movie. But I do that in a world, as I said earlier. So kind of living it inside, but not out here, unfortunately. But yeah. I thought I sounded like Jamie when I have a British accent. Like, people say that they think that Ollie's probably going to sound more like that when he gets older because his voice is kind of dropping. And it's weird, actually. Like, I love watching the old videos of Ollie and seeing how much he's grown up. It's kind of like, wow. I'm gonna shoot off at 10 o'clock because it'll be 2 hours and I don't want to bore everybody too much. So it's just 15 minutes left, if that's okay, you guys. But yeah. Again, like, if I'm not answering your questions, it's kind of just because I've answered them before, and I don't want to repeat myself in this video, so I really apologize. And again, because they're going really fast anyway, so I'm only picking and choosing what I can see. But yeah, kind of a mixture of the two. Do I use English or American spelling? I use English more now. I try to use American, I guess, back in the day when I used to have to think that I had to be completely different as an alter, and I wanted to be as unique as possible, but actually, no, naturally, I write English lettering and the way it's spelled, so, yeah. Have you ever had a crush on someone? Yes, Miss Velvet, like, many times. Many times. But yeah, unfortunately, my hands are tied. Did any of the alters date before Jess was married? Yeah, I think Ed had a couple of dates. Yeah. I think 2 guys, but I don't remember who they were or what they looked like or anything about them. That just seems right to say. So I'm going to say 2 guys, I think Ed went out with. Did when the alters come out on Jess's wedding? No, Jess had the wedding. And actually, which I was really shocked about, I came out first to say congratulations. Like, it was nice. I was like, oh, well done, Gas. Thanks for taking such good care of Jess and for all of us. And yeah. So it was nice and sentimental. Multiple strong minds. Do you ever have difficulties disclosing you are part of a system? By the way, thanks. And you've helped me understand our own DID. I'm so pleased, guys. Yeah, I mean, there are definite difficulties, and I know I saw a comment fly up earlier as well about telling your employer. Like I said, we didn't tell our employer, and they found out, and it was more like that, but we tend not to disclose, unless we really think that there's a potential friendship, and we want to be as open as possible with somebody, we don't tend to disclose. However, it's very different when people have already gossiped about you, I guess depending on where you live, because like here is pretty a small town, so yeah, word gets around real fast. So I doubt there's many people that we meet who probably haven't heard of, well, or if it's definitely through a friend of a friend, then yeah, people probably know about us. So yeah, I guess Jess gets really self-conscious about that. That's probably why she doesn't go out very much, for that reason. James Black, do you have any advice for spouses of those with DID? That's an interesting question. And actually, I think Gaz would be best to answer that. I'm planning now, thanks to you guys, to get Gaz to do a live stream Q&A. And maybe questions like that will be better to ask him than to ask me, if that's okay. Were any of you ever attracted to Jess in big capital letters? Yeah, when I was younger. Yeah. And I think back when we were kids, you just don't understand. I think I was like, oh yeah, she's my girlfriend and I like her. Duh, you know. But no, that was, gosh, years ago. And yeah, it just doesn't work when you're dating yourself in your head. It doesn't happen. But we were like really young. It was like sharing around a pack of Skittles or something. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything else. How would I feel about somebody recognizing us in public? So that's already happened. Once we did Diaries of a Broken Mind, we went to a concert. I don't remember what the concert was. But basically it was canceled. So all these thousands of people had turned up to this concert, and we got there, and whoever it was in the band decided that they weren't going to be there or whatever. So the whole gig was canceled. Yeah, just as we were coming out, this girl like screamed like, ah! We were like, whoa, oh my gosh, what? And then she came up and said, you're that girl who did Diaries of a Broken Mind. My auntie has DID, and you did such a good thing, and I can't thank you enough. And I wish I remember her name. We still got a photo of her somewhere. Like she took a selfie with us and then sent it to us, and it was really nice. But I wish I could remember, like, because she gave us, I can't remember if it was her Tumblr or her email, I can't remember, but she was great. I remember she had red hair. Yeah, so that was them. Definitely, probably the first time we were recognized, but I can't remember if we got recognized after that at all. But that was one that stands out to me anyhow. Okay, I've got 10 minutes left, guys. I'm just gonna start wrapping up soon, okay? Emma, I find you guys super interesting. I would befriend somebody if I'd heard if they had DID. I'm so pleased. That's part of what we want to do. We want to make sure that, people feel that this disorder isn't as scary or as terrifying as they first think. We want to break down that stigma and make sure that then the people with DID feel they can talk more, and friends of those with DID feel that they can actually be friends, What was your reaction the first time you realized you were an alter? I don't remember the first time, and I don't know. I don't think there was a reaction, really. It's kind of like, oh, this is it. This is what I do. This is, I don't know. Again, it's not like a Freaky Friday scene, you know what I mean? It's nothing big and dramatic. It's just more you kind of just go with the flow. At least that's been the way for our system anyhow. Thank you for teaching me about DID. No problem. Thank you for being interested and wanting to listen. I really appreciate it. Is it hard to be a vegetarian in this system? Totally hard. I say that. I shouldn't make such a big deal. Like, Ed is great at making vegetarian foods for us. And I, like, another idea. I have all these crazy ideas. I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to do that. But he, I really wanted to make, like, a cooking channel because he does some amazing recipes. And I love him to do that. But I doubt he'd ever in a million miles go near that idea. Ed absolutely, like, hates attention and stuff. So he'd be like, no. But yeah, he makes awesome vegetarian recipes, and I know that actually us as a whole and Gaz went vegetarian permanently for like 3 months, which was great for me because I didn't have to ever worry about like, oh hey, what's in this pot? I could just eat it because I knew it was fine. And surprisingly, we all betted on Jamie like being the first to hand in the towel, and it was actually Ollie. He wanted fish fingers, and that was the end of our vegetarianism. But I'm determined to go back to that. definitely. Thank you for doing this stream, Jake. No problem. Thank you. I think it was Chicken. Sorry your name. Thank you very much. Yeah, no problem. Do you have friends with any other mental illnesses? I know you guys had Diaries of a Broken Mind, and they were manic and other things. Yeah, yeah, we do. I think, I mean, like, it's so common now, isn't it, to have, like, a mental health issue, which is great. It's being picked up on. So, yeah, we have a lot of friends with all sorts, I think, from, like, schizoaffective to, like, just, like, but, you know, anxiety, depression, more typical stuff. Yeah, sort of an array of people, really. Thank you so much for posting these videos. You helped me discover what I had and made me figure everything out. Thank you, Bobo. I didn't see the rest of your comment, but thank you. Is it possible to send you private messages? I mean, yeah, if you want to, you can carry on. I know there's a message thing on YouTube. We also have an email address, which is multiplicityandme@gmail.com. If you wanted any, I don't know. I mean, it's more about business stuff, though. That's our, like, business email. But yeah, you know, if you guys want to send an idea or anything over, you're free to. Red Panda asks, are you famous in a world? Yes, I am. Yeah, I've been in, like, a ridiculous amount of films. Like, I can't even count. I think something like 16 movies, whether it's main character or extra or something, just random stuff. Yeah. Oh, I just saw a comment from Mew Meow, answering somebody about sexuality. Yeah, so I'll just clear that up. So yeah, I am a straight dude. Jess is a straight female. Jamie is bisexual, a bisexual guy. And Ed is a gay guy. Like, there's been a lot of comments or a lot of thoughts about the fact that Ed is a woman. No, he is not. He is definitely a dude. And yeah, he is a gay dude and likes dudes. And Ollie hasn't recognized his sexuality yet. So he doesn't know what he is. He's just kind of floating by. Advice for your fellow system as the host starts her last year of high school. I'd just be, like, totally organized. Just make sure you've got your book straight, you got, like, cool new pens, you keep a track of time. Definitely anything you can do like that. That would really, you try and stay one step ahead all the time. And if you're ever struggling or starting to, like, I don't know, drown a little under all the stuff going on and the memory gaps, make sure you speak to a teacher or a professor or whoever it is. Just speak to somebody who can maybe help you, your tutor, and yeah, that's my advice. I love you. What's your zodiac signs with loads of hearts? Hang on. I am Aquarius. Jamie is Virgo. Ed is Scorpio. Ollie is also Scorpio. Jess is Libra. Did I miss anybody? I don't know. I have no idea if I missed it, but yeah, that's the list. Hey, love your channel. I love all of you. Just to let you know, nothing to see but me. Thank you. Oh gosh, again, so many people. My friend has DID. I love you for doing this. Didn't read the rest of it. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for this stream. No problem at all. Any advice for people who suffer panic attacks? We also suffer panic attacks, or Jess really does. I don't know. Do you know what? Actually, a really, really good thing that's happened to us is getting that Fitbit that's got the breathing thing on there. That's so good for Jess, because when she's getting her thing up, it's one thing me, like, telling her, okay, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. But when you've got that little, like, visual and you can see it, I think that makes a big difference. So, yeah. Maybe some breathing techniques. I know it's, like, kind of cliche to say, but definitely some breathing techniques. Yeah. And I don't know. I can't think of anything cool to say other than that, but grounding also helps distracting yourself. I know we've done the whole ice cube thing. If we're, like, really getting panicky, it's something to focus on and feel. But yeah. Are the other alters coming on live after this? No, sorry. It's just me tonight. But I'm planning now to get Gaz involved, maybe, in a Q&A. That'd be cool. If you guys are happy to have me back, I'll do more. And oh my gosh, it's only like 2 minutes to go. So I'd best wrap up soon and just say, yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I can't believe the amount of questions we've had. I'm really sorry that if I've missed any questions or you joined a little bit late and I've just had to kind of like ignore it and move on because we've answered the question before. I'm really sorry. I'm just picking some last questions. Sophia asks, would you write a book on DID? I know Jess kind of wants to, but kind of doesn't, so I'm not really sure that'll ever go or if it'll ever happen. And Solara says, hi Jake, I'm so glad I didn't miss the live stream. Hope you guys do this more often. Thank you. I will definitely try to. I've had a really good time. I'm sorry I've just like non-stop talked. Yeah. And I have the best channel, and it's reassuring to know that I'm not alone. That one non-binary, I didn't see the last bit of the name. I'm so pleased. And yeah, so, thank you guys so much. Oh no, Mrs. Panzer just logged in. I'm sorry, I'm just about to log out. I'm so sorry. But yeah, just thank you all so much again for coming by, for enjoying the stream. I hope I haven't talked your ear off, and I can't wait to do this again. If there's anybody you'd like to hear from in particular, you may encourage them a little, obviously, like write in the comments of the video. That'd be great when I put it out after. And yeah, love and respect to you too, and to everybody. So yes, thank you all very much, and I will see you all real soon. Bye guys, bye everybody, bye.